So in this video, I'm going to show you how to create the tire of your Automoblocks car. So the tire is just a skinny piece of plastic, well actually rubber, but it has these little ribs that make it a little bit tricky. But it still shouldn't be too difficult. So we're going to start with our, so what I did, I just created a 2D sketch. Let's go back. So let's create a 2D sketch and let's choose either the YZ or XY plane. So we're going to create a circle from the center of here, and it says that my largest circle, my outer circle, is 1.650. Then I have another circle from the middle that is 0.1 degrees smaller. So I can do 1.650 minus 0.1. There we go. And they also want me to create this smaller, even smaller circle, 1.650 minus 0.1 minus 0.03. And if I click escape to get out of my circle, I can drag these around so that they're not all in my way. So I know this is my outer circle. This is my second smallest circle. This is the smallest circle that I have. So I'm going to finish that sketch. And what I want to do is extrude this outer circle. We don't want to extrude the inner circle yet. And we aren't told the extrusion length, so we can just extrude that a distance of, let's see how 0.5 looks. I'd say that looks pretty good, so let's keep it at 0.5. So we now have these little nubs that we need to make, and we know that they're 4 degrees from the center. So we want to share this sketch that we have in here. So let's right click here and do share sketch, and you can see that this sketch shows up here, and now we can see it visually. This means that the sketch can be shared through other, with the use of other tools. So we don't need, we're going to use this sketch for our first extrusion, but also for our second extrusion. So we're going to want to go to this sketch, and we want to make lines that are going to be that 4 degrees that we want. So we're going to use these as construction lines. So let's just make any line at any angle. Make sure it's not flat. Just any line here. We don't want them connected though. So we just want one there. Let's make one out here. So we can dimension. Oh, we need a line down the center also. Okay, so we're going to dimension from this line to this line, and we see how we get, when I'm near that line, I get that little angle symbol. So now it's going to give me this angle, and I just want that to be 4. So that I'll do with both sides, and I can zoom in using my zoom and dragging up and dragging up. And I don't want any of these lines to be full cut lines, so I'm gonna make them all construction lines. So they're just dotted. They're just to help us. So we want to now use our trim tool to trim out. Do we see how everything else except what's in here gets those gray dots? So everything else is going to get trimmed. And we want just this portion from here to here to have a full line. So now we have a little rectangle there, little rectangle nub. So we can finish that sketch. And let's view that portion that we just made right over here. So we now want to extrude this little nub, and we want to make sure that it's going the direction we want, and 0.5, which is the distance we want, so we'll check that. Now we have one nub, and we can unshare this sketch, so we'll right click on it, and we see that there's a check mark next to visibility. When we uncheck that, now my sketch goes gray and it won't be shown. I can see just this little baby nub right there. So what we want to do now is be able to take this nub and use a circle pattern to make it go all the way around. But if you see in the circle pattern, we need the feature that we want, which is our nub, but we also want a rotation axis, and right now we don't have any axis going through the middle of this. So the same way that we can create a work plane, we can create a work axis. I'll just click on the circle that I want the axis to be around, and you can see that it will show up over here. And if I look at an angle, you can see this axis through the middle. So I want to now use my circle pattern, and it asks me what features I want to put in the circle pattern. So I want to just choose this nub. I don't want the rest. So just that part should be blue. Then I can use my rotation axis as this, and we can see that in green the circle pattern that is going to show up is already coming there. We want 15 of these nubs all around. So we're going to click OK. And now we can see that we have our tire tread with all these nubs all the way around. We can also, the same way, turn this visibility off so we don't see that axis. And now we have our tire. So add whatever color you want, and you can also change this to any kind of rubber.